Hi you guys, it's Melanie and welcome back to Living Luxuriously for Less. I am so excited about today's video. It is actually a video that it comes on the heels of a lot of requests that I've received about getting into event planning, how to get started, and what systems and what tools you need to build your business and to eventually build your inventory. So I decided to sit down and kind of make this video as my gift to all of you guys for all of your continuous and unwavering support. So before we go any further, stop this video, put it on pause, go grab your notebook, your pen, your smartphone, or whatever you need to grab in order to take notes, because I am going to be dropping a ton of hints and tips and jewels for those of you guys who are interested in starting an event planning or for any type of small business. Now, the systems that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, I use them in event planning, but I also know other people who are in the industry that use them, that are also like photographers, they're makeup artists, they are bakers, they are venue owners. I mean, there are so many different diversified ways that these systems can be used, but because event planning is my type of business or my scope of business, you will hear me refer to it more in that scope. But definitely know that there are so many other realms that these systems can be used in. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys maybe 3 to 5 systems that I believe that every individual that is starting an event planning business or any type of small business needs to put in place prior to getting started. So before I start telling you guys these systems, I just want to put out this brief disclaimer that these are my personal opinions from lessons that I have learned after spending over 15 years in this industry and, eventually making it my full-time career. So you can take it with a grain of salt, but just things that I'm sharing with you guys, things that I wish someone had shared with me when I started 15 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of headache, a lot of heartache, and a lot of clients. And perhaps I could have started my journey down the road of entrepreneurship a lot sooner had I had these systems in place. So I'm going to get started with the first system, and that system is a client management system. So a lot of people, ask me, do I need to get inventory first? Do I need to get, some type of system first? And, I personally started with inventory, but I will tell you guys, the most important thing to get first is a client management system. Now, prior to me getting a system, I would get inquiries like maybe on social media or on my website, and then I would respond to an email or a direct message or a text message, and I would be talking to one client on 5 different systems. So I would be texting them, I would be emailing them, I would be DMing them, and sometimes the conversation can get lost or convoluted, or important details can be missed. So I wanted to find a system that would work for me so that I can kind of house all these things in one place. So in my quest to find this system, I came across Honeybook. And what Honeybook is a client management system. You can email your clients, you can automate your emails. Let's say you get an inquiry, then boom, you could shoot an email to that client that sends them the design questionnaire or whatever you need in order to complete or start that process that you're starting with your client. And I just thought that was so amazing to have all in one place. So I was able to put my photos in this system. I was able to put my design questionnaire in this system. Any contracts or invoicing, they were able to sign contracts in this system. And that was so important because with millennials, which, most of the individuals that are getting married today are millennials, and with them, they like to have everything at the touch of their, at their fingertips. And so by me having this system, it allowed them to get the information that they needed right away. They didn't necessarily want to have another meeting with me just to sign a contract. So they like minimalistic meetings. So realistically, you would meet with them 1 to maybe 3 times, but everything else they like to do via text message or email. And so this was my way of housing everything in one space. And the other thing that I loved about it is that it also encompassed the second system that I believe that everyone needs, and that's a financial system. How are you going to get paid? How are you going to keep track of how much money you made? How are you going to keep track of your budget and your expenses? And at the end of the year, how are you going to bundle all this up together for your taxes? And I love the fact that HoneyBook also offered this. So once the client signed the contract digitally, we would also set up a payment plan, and they could pay by credit card, by PayPal. They can pay by cash or check. However, whatever method the client chooses to use, HoneyBook will allow them to be able to do that. And I just thought that was so important, because I could go back in and include all the expenses that I spent on that particular event, and in one space I could see everything that had to do with that wedding or event. And the other thing that really won me over was that it was super budget friendly. So just to kind of wrap up where we are so far, the first system you need is a client management system. The second system that you need is definitely a financial system. How are you going to get paid? How are you going to track your budgets? And just gives your clients different ways of paying you. So you're not just, the client feels more comfortable with going through a portal or some type of client management system in order to make that payment. It just makes it easier and more comfortable for everyone, and it gives you options, which just makes you overall more appealing as a business. Okay, so the next system that you would need would be some type of organizational system or inventory control system. Now, this is something that I'm currently still working on finding the best tool for this particular system, because when you're ordering things from so many different sources or so many different vendors, it's kind of hard to keep track. The only way to really keep accurate track is through the invoicing that you get from those vendors. But after a while, things start to get jumbled up, and it requires a lot of hands-on work. So there are several apps that I'm trying out so that I could kind of scan these things in using the current invoices that I have to create a more robust system. In addition to that, I've been using an Excel system, which kind of over time I abandoned because it is so labor intensive. So if you guys have any ideas about an inventory system that I'm not currently aware of, leave it down below, and I'll let you know the apps that I'm currently checking out and studying to figure out what works best. But right now I'm currently using just kind of a hands-on inventory system. So with this, I have a Lux planner, and inside of my planner, I have your regular calendar. I have a productivity planner, which a lot of the forms and things that I have in that section, it's like a design questionnaire for your client, an interview sheet for your client. It also has the inventory system, on ordering sheet. I mean, it has a ton of information, everything that I personally use to run my business. So if you're interested in this, I will link it down below as well. I also have another one called the Purposeful Planner that's included in this planner, and it has over maybe 25 prayers and declarations and all of that. But I said all that to say that one section in this planner is just purely about organization and how you organize your inventory and how you order and where you order it from, and the websites you got it from, your passwords for those websites, because all of those things are going to come in handy once you get ready to file your taxes at the end of the year. So an inventory and organizational system is so imperative, so that as you guys matriculate in your business, that it makes it a lot easier for you to manage those things that you have, and you don't find yourself double ordering and triple ordering things that you already have in inventory. Now, the next system that I feel is imperative in your business is a training system. Figuring out the best practices for, you know, every aspect of your business. I'll give you guys a great example. So one of the areas that we struggled in most when we first started our business was the breakdown. Like when it's time to break down, everybody just wants to naturally grab everything and throw it into this great big pile, and sashes are all tangled up and tablecloths are all balled up. And I had to figure out a system just for breaking down our events. To me, that was just as important as us putting together or assembling or setting up our event. So one of the things that we found is that with the chargers, a lot of times you want to naturally grab all the chargers, stack them on top of each other, and then wipe them out. But we found ourselves double working, because once you sit the chargers on top of each other, then you have food on the front and on the back of the charger. So what we found was that leaving the chargers in place and then wiping out each one individually and then stacking them on top of each other was a lot more time friendly, and it was just the best practice for us. So we take the time to train those individuals who are working with us in our business, so that we can be more efficient in terms of timing, in terms of setting up, and in terms of breaking down. So like for an event for like around 150 people, my team of 4 people to 5 people, we can actually disassemble the entire event within maybe an hour and a half. And that's packing up and everything, just because we have a training system in place. So we do training for how to put on tablecloths, how to lay the chargers and the napkins. I mean, we take time to train those individuals, and we have a training in place so that we can work in zones and do things effectively and efficiently. So a training system is so imperative. And the last system that I'm going to share with you guys today is a system that is often overlooked in small businesses, and that is a customer care system. There needs to be some type of way that your client can provide unbiased feedback to you in order to help you improve your business, or that you can later use as like your kudos or your blurbs on your website or in your brochures or in any type of advertising. I personally use SurveyMonkey. It's a free resource, and after the event is over, even in Lux Academy, I send them a link and allow them to anonymously provide me with their feedback regarding their event or regarding their experience at Lux Academy. And a lot of these things that they have given me in feedback, I've been able to look at them, you know, subjectively, and, you know, take the truth from those statements, even those really tough, rough statements. I take the truth from those statements and build on my business and build on my practices and build on my training opportunity and identify any gaps that I may have in my business and close those gaps. So, you know, having a customer care or some type of feedback system is a great way to build your business and to build that trust with your clientele, no matter what business you're in. So in closing, I just want to tell you guys that you're doing great. I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, I failed, like I need to go back. Like, I'm still learning. I learn every day. I just actually started using HoneyBook in February of this year. I launched my planner in January. So if you guys, in the spirit of true transparency, like I'm 50% old school and 50% new school, meaning I have a paper system just in case something goes down, and I also have the electronic system. It just makes it easier for me to balance, and I'm able to do that through my planner, which is the luxurious planner, and also through HoneyBook. And right now, HoneyBook is offering a free code for you guys. It's 50% off. I think if you pay monthly, it ranges from $16 to $20 a month. It just depends on, you know, if you want to pay like the fee up front or if you want to do it by month. But I'm telling you, it's an amazing system. I went from doing like maybe 4 proposals in 4 to 5 hours to being able to do 4 proposals in 22 minutes. Because once you put that in one time, you're able to just kind of automate everything else and just take out the things that apply to that event. You can leave those in and remove the things that do not apply to that particular wedding or event. So right now, like I said, they're offering an additional 50% off by using my code. I will leave my code down in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comments as well. Also, for a limited time, I'm going to allow them to completely copy my profile. What does that mean, Melanie? It means you'll get a copy of my personal contract, you'll get a copy of my personal questionnaire, you'll get a copy of my personal packages, you'll get a copy of my personal just different forms and contracts and vendor release forms, like rental agreements for venues, for equipment, like whatever kind of rental that you have going on. Like, you'll get a copy of all of that in this in your version of HoneyBook. They'll just copy my profile, duplicate that, and then you can just change your business name and make it applicable to what you actually do. I've done most of the groundwork for you, but the only catch to that is that you have to do it by December 2nd. So this is something I only typically offer to my Lux Academy students, but from now to December 2nd, I'm gonna open it up to you guys as well. I know I'm in the giving spirit this season, but I want you guys not to make the same mistakes that I made as an event planner. And if I can save one person the headaches and the trauma and the disappointment and the wasted money that I wasted while, learning, while going down this path and on my journey of learning, then I want to do that. So that's my gift to you guys this holiday season. Again, I will leave that link down below, and I will also leave the link to my planner down below as well. I know many of you guys who love my inspirational and motivational words have been waiting on this planner, so I'm going to drop that link down below as well, and be sure to check it out on Black Friday because I'm going to be offering it at a special value. Okay, so that is all I have for today. If you guys have any additional questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and then let me know what system you feel like you need the most help with, and maybe I'll make some subsequent videos and maybe include them here on this channel or in Lux Academy and go more in depth on how to set up and operate these systems in your businesses. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have happy, wonderful, amazing holidays full of beautiful memories. And until next time, it's Melanie with Living Luxuriously for Less. Cheers!